Hello YouTube. So this is going to be like week 52, week 53. I am taking vacation week 53 from DOT Blitz week. I'm over here burning stuff at the property we got. I got all that to burn. And if you can tell, the clouds, it's supposed to rain in about an hour or less. So it's not looking good for me. I did make a big dent in it, but that's a completely different story. This is supposed to be trucking related, right? So, last week before I went on vacation, they decided to give me a drug test, so they had to route me to Atlanta. I got around 1,400 paid miles, it looks like. I couldn't add them up. My book's in the truck, and they have to leave the truck at the OC, so it can be used as a spare. First trip was to Bloomingdale from Pooler, 23 miles, and then Rincon was 40 miles. One of them was a load of beer that I relayed from the Savannah drop lot, and I gotta keep an eye on my fire, and it had shifted. Now there wasn't any damaged product, but nobody secured the load whenever they picked it up. So I mean, if you pick up technically any load you pick up, you got to secure the load. It will shift, it will move. Some of these guys don't know how to drive that well, and if you're just starting, they only give you 2 straps, but every time you go to an OC, tell them you need straps. They'll give you 2 straps every time. I have a buildup of about 4 or 5 straps, but I don't drive like a maniac either. So from Rincon, I had another pickup going to Alabama, which was 370, and then they routed me to Atlanta because they wanted me to get there and go do the drug test on Wednesday, I believe it was. So I got up Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, whatever it was, and went and did the drug test, and then I helped run. They gave me an option of 2 different dedicated accounts to help run, and I picked one that wasn't going to have multiple stops. It was just dropping hook loads, which also had short haul pay in it because they were short runs. So they were like 65 miles, 135 mile round trip, 47 miles, and then back all the way to Atlanta for 214 miles was the last one, so I could get there, so I could get my ride to take my vacation. When you take a vacation, they give you 1 free rental. They won't send you home and back. It's either home, you find your own way back, or it's back, or it's you find your own way home and then you get a rental back. I chose the second option because we had to come up to Atlanta anyway to McDonough, so I had my wife pick me up at the OC and cleaned most of the stuff out of my truck. You're not really supposed to leave a lot of stuff in it because, you know, if somebody needs to use it, they don't need a bunch of junk in there. So I think I left some cheese and some bread and a few other little knickknacks in there. I got all my electronics and stuff out. But the paid mileage was around 1386, I think is what I added up. And with short haul pay was 140 or something like that. I don't know. There was a few extra odds and ends in there for short haul pay, and per diem was about 176 bucks. And then I got my bonus. So my check was really small, but I got my bonus of being there a year. So, you know, if you had a sign-on bonus, you get the first batch, and then after 6 months they don't pay you anything, and then from 6 months to a year, once you hit that year mark, you'll get the rest of your sign-on bonus. So they paid me, I guess it was $900 the first 6 months total over the spread. I mean, they pay it like after 30, and then after, I don't know, 60, and then after 6 months. So 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Y'all have to look that up if you really want to know what the sign-on payout is. So that added $600 to my check, so yay me. Now I'm hoping that they don't screw up and they actually pay me for my vacation, because this is week 53. I called about the approval for the IC process. As far as we can tell, everything's good to go, but I won't know for probably about a week. So keeping my fingers crossed and praying for that, that everything works out. Like I said, if it doesn't work out, I'm leaving. I tried to get my hazmat So I went with the stupid thing is, you know, they want a certified copy of birth certificate. I have a copy of the birth certificate from right at 1970 from the hospital I was born at that has the certified hospital seal on it. And they wouldn't take that because it's not a certified copy, even though it's a certified copy of where I was born, which makes absolutely no sense, but that's government for you. So I got to get a certified copy. I went up there to the health department and got in there because my appointment was at 1:10 at the Twick hazmat location for fingerprinting, and they said I had to go do that. So I ran next door, which was about 20 minutes down the road, got there about 1:30, and they said, oh, well, we stopped doing birth certificates about 15 minutes ago, which is, I mean, you got 6 people in the window doing nothing. Y'all are about the laziest bunch of trash I've ever seen. Government offices are... Anyway, I'm not happy with that, so I could have got my hazmat, but it would have ended up costing me about $100. Since I got my Twick card, it would have only been $67, not the $86.50, just for the endorsement, the background check, and then it would have been another $35 for the test or something like that. I don't know, or the redoing of the license, something like that. I don't remember what exactly it is, but hang on, I got to work on my fire. All right, so this place, it's been raining so bad here. It took me forever to get it going, and I used gasoline to kind of help start the fire, and that was a stupid move. The first little batch I put on there, it soaked in, so it didn't light. The fumes were gone already, you know. That's what starts the fire, basically. It's not the gas itself, really. And yeah, my stupid self, I lit it up, and I got singed hair in certain spots in my body. So anyway, I know better than that. I was just trying to make it easier. Got a lot of work to do on this property. So that's about it for 52. I mean, once I got to Atlanta, bouncing back and forth, I was going to Ackworth and then Alabama or Tennessee, I think it was, right there on the other side of the border, and then back, and then across the border, and then back. I did that a couple of times, and then I bounced between Ackworth and Fairburn. It was an easy run, good easy run, heavy loads, but no scales, so I didn't worry too much about that. And I knew the inspection was coming this week, so I was like, well, I'll be on vacation anyway. Not that I'm worried about that. I got a nice new truck. The only thing I worry about is the trailers. You just got to make sure you keep an eye on your trailers when you, I mean, even without an inspection. Keep an eye on all your stuff. Look for the rust spots and all that, like they trained you in class. And if they didn't train you in class, I highly suggest you look up what you need to look for. I'm looking like a freckled man. See all these... This dirt is ridiculous. So last week or week before last, I looked like a black man. Not like African American. I mean like literally black. I drove through and cut my grass, and I pretty much shaved it. And where we live, it's nothing but a lot of dirt, grass and dirt. So even when you cut the grass, you're getting a lot of dirt on you. And, that was fun. I took a shower, and so much black was pouring off of me, it wasn't even funny. So I'm sure I got ring around the shower pretty bad on that one. Fire department keeps driving by like, what's going on? This is the second time they drove by. A bunch of clowns. Like, I'm gonna leave it. I had to get a burn permit, and I don't live in the country. Well, I didn't used to live in the country, so they said, I said, yeah, I called for a burn permit, and they gave me a number, and they told me that they just gave me the number, so, which is fine. I figured I had to pay for it because, you know, government offices, anything called a permit has to be paid for, right? And, well, not a burn permit. What do I know? Now I know. So, let's see, is this another fire department? Second time they'll have driven by. Yeah, like these guys got nothing better to do except drive around. So I'm waiting on it to rain, actually, because I'm not going to burn much more here. It's going to come down. It's supposed to come down for like 4 or 5 hours and get it even more wet. And these clouds do not look healthy at all. So anyway, that's about it for week 52, 53. No hazmat. I wasn't able to do all the house stuff I wanted to do, but you know, it happens. I ain't worried about it. I just hope my truck's there on Monday. Oh, and coming back now, I should have just came home and then got the rental home and then came back, because of course it would have still taken forever. But it would have cost me more money. Not West Memphis, where the OC is an hour past us, so I gotta wait till 9 o'clock before they even tell me what my rental's gonna be, or where I'm gonna pick it up at, or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go down there, but I'm not getting the Uber until I know where I gotta go to get the car. It's probably gonna be the airport, and then drive to Atlanta. Anyway, that's it. I'll have an update at the end of next week. Probably only gonna be running 4 days. It's warm, especially by this fire. Y'all keep the left door closed and keep the hammer down.